Habari Entertainment proudly presents Habari Live. Habari Live. From Phoenix, Arizona. And you're listening to the Habari Live podcast, the show that brings you news, sports, and entertainment for people who love HabariEntertainment.com. Here are your hosts, Aisha, Jimmy, and Damon Dipleen Ellison. Let's get it going. We are all the way live.
Oh, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Habari Live, your go-to podcast for the pulse of Phoenix and beyond. Like always, we're all the way live in Paradise Valley in Phoenix, Arizona. Let's get it going. Oh my goodness, that's loud. Yeah, man. So we are thrilled to bring you the latest edition of Habari Live, your go-to podcast for the pulse of Phoenix and beyond. Like always, we're all the way live in Paradise Valley, like I just said, in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm Damon Dipleen Ellison, and my co-host,
Aisha,
will be your guide through the exciting stories and everyday happenings in our vibrant community, your weekly dose of inspiration, innovation, and insightful conversations from the heart of our city. Yeah, let's get it going, man. So, let's see what we got this morning, man. So, this morning is what? You want to turn it down?
Yeah, for her headset, please.
Yeah, most definitely. Let's do that. Is that better?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's see here what we got. Oh, okay. I know what I got to do. My bad. We good? Are we good? Aiden, everything good?
Instagram is, let me try it. I need a screen key again.
But anyway, let's get it going real fast. Today we're joined by the incredibly talented Whitney Jones. She's a singer, songwriter, and storyteller. Her music is rooted in the authenticity and heart in her newest album, Based on Reality. It's a powerful testament to that, with a highly anticipated performance coming up on May 9th at the Chandler Center for the Arts. Whitney is here to talk about her music, meaning, and the magic behind it all. Whitney, welcome, and it's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Hey, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
For sure. We appreciate you. You know, you're going on a award tour of the city.
Yes.
Going to all the places and talking to everyone that needs to be talked to. So tell the people a little bit about your path to get into music and what brought you into creating this album based on reality.
Oh man, my path to getting to music. I feel as though I was just created and born to do this because I've always been drawn to music. You know, my earliest recollections of being a toddler, getting up on the piano and playing
Right.
on my tippy toes, like trying to reach the keys. And so my mom put me in piano lessons because she was like, she heard how I was she was in the kitchen singing and cooking, and I would like pick out the notes that she was singing on the piano. I was like 3, 4, you know, so I was like playing what she was singing, and she was like, I think we need to put her in lessons. So from there, like I studied piano all the way through 10th grade, started focusing on voice. I attended Berklee College of Music in Boston, graduated from there, and landed in Phoenix in 2012. So that's when I was like, all right, I finished my first EP in 2017, and here we are with my new album, Based on Reality, which comes out April 25th. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, man.
I started that.
That's dope.
Yeah, I started that in 2020. What brought me to that is depression.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I when the pandemic happened, everything shut down. Like all my gigs were off the book. Like I had just quit my job full time, with benefits, like the end of 2019, and then the pandemic happens, and I was like, oh, what?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like what I thought that I was gonna like quit my job and then tour the world and perform, and that didn't happen right away. So I went through a little depression. I was sad, and so I wrote these songs. And that's why I called the album Based on Reality. Yeah.
Man, that's a lot of people say the best songs usually come from pain.
Oh yeah.
And usually comes from going through a tough time, thinking about the places that you haven't been able to get to, or the places that you want to get to. And that's the best music. Always have been, always will be.
Oh yeah.
So you said you from Boston?
No, I'm not from there. I'm from all over.
Okay,
I'm
because
from
I
all
sure
over.
can't pick up
I'm
your
I,
accent at all.
it's a mixture of everything. It's gumbo. It's a gumbo, which makes sense because my dad is from Louisiana, so
Okay.
New Orleans. So I was actually born in Iowa, Fort Dodge,
Holy
Iowa.
mess. Wow.
Yes, yeah. Lived there for 10 months. We moved to a suburb of St. Louis.
Okay.
Lived there for a few years.
What suburb in St. Louis?
St. Charles.
St. Charles, Missouri.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from the area, unfortunately.
Okay, all right. Yeah, unfortunately, they got some bomb Chinese food though.
Yes, they
I
do.
miss that.
And they sure always talk about it. They're gonna let you know too.
And then let's see, we moved to Champaign, Illinois when I was
Wow.
3, stayed there till about 13, and then moved to Atlanta metropolitan area. So that's why
Wow.
I have that Midwestern Southern accent. It's just
Okay.
kind of
So your pops was in the military, I'm guessing.
No, it was just his job, the company he was with.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just had him traveling and
Yeah,
doing.
yeah.
Hey, that's amazing though.
Yeah.
Do you feel like living in all these different places, you were able to be more well-rounded as an individual?
Oh, most definitely, because I've literally lived in 4 regions in the United States, from the Midwest to the South, and then going to college in Boston,
Yeah.
New England area.
Mhm.
And which that was a culture shock for me,
Yeah.
coming from the South,
Yeah.
especially where people are kind and you like
Mhm.
speaking to your neighbors like, hi, good morning. They like, I don't know you.
Right.
And they're like, okay.
Definitely the East Coast.
Yeah.
They don't play all that
No,
niceness.
they don't. Until they get to know you.
Mhm.
And then moving here to Phoenix,
Yeah.
So yeah, 4 regions, but it's beautiful people everywhere.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's what I have found. And people are
Mhm.
people regardless of where they're from
That's real.
and their accents or their race or ethnicity.
Mhm.
People are people.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, people just want love, peace, and respect.
That's all. That's all we're looking for. We're
Yeah.
all looking for just a little love and admiration.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
So, based on reality is such a bold and what do I say, evocative title. What does it mean to you? What is the title of the? But even though you just told me, kind of.
Mhm.
But what does it mean to you? But everything that you have set into this album.
So this is what I'll say about based on reality. What we experience in life, the ups and downs, the ins, the outs, the
Mhm.
highs, the lows, as Frankie Beverly and May say, joy and
Okay.
pain.
Right.
Like as we experience all of that, and it's real life. You look at social media, and you most of the time you just see the polished, the positive, the happy, but you don't see the times when people are sad or in the bed
Yeah.
crying or
Mhm.
grieving or
Right.
dealing with loss or pain or whatnot. So
Mhm.
this song, this album has a little bit of everything from falling in love to self-healing to empowerment.
Okay.
I have a song on there called Kick Fear Out Your Face.
Mhm.
My whole focus for what I do and why I do music is to uplift, inspire, and empower people
There you go.
to kick fear out of their face and walk in love. Why
Mhm.
not? So that's what the album is about. One of the first songs on the album is called I Am Grateful. I wrote that song when I was depressed
Right.
because I started doing a gratitude journal every day, 5 things I was grateful for.
Mm.
I started going back to therapy. I started meditating,
Yeah.
even just 5-10 minutes a day.
Right.
Go on YouTube, find a meditation, guided meditation, or use the meditation apps. It didn't have to be long, just a
Right.
few minutes. But I found that helped me climb out of that. And so I started writing these songs as I was pulling myself out of dealing with trauma and dealing with the depression and anxiety that I was dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's tough. Sometimes we go through tough things and some people can't pull themselves out of those things.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to pull yourself out and have something positive that you can build on
Mm-hmm.
is amazing. It's hard. A lot of people go through depression and they go through tough things and it's just woe me and they can't figure out how to get out of that.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to give you a hand for being able to pull out of a situation that
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard to say that you were in depression. It's hard to say that you were going through it tough. Some people are, it's hard for them to say those things, especially in our community.
Oh yeah.
And we don't want to go to therapy and things like that. So to be able to do that and take the advice or from others
Mm-hmm.
and to listen to others and grow off that, that's really a big deal. And that's something that you can look inside of yourself and say, man, I was able to take those steps, because most of us
Mm-hmm.
don't want to do that, unfortunately.
No, most definitely. So while at Berkeley, my major was actually music therapy.
Okay.
And so I worked in the psychiatric facilities, mental health
Yeah.
organizations. And so I was a board certified music therapist, had
Okay.
credentials behind my name. And I was typically the only Black person in my
Yeah.
department,
Right.
sometimes the only one in the hospital, depending on where I was at.
Right.
And so going from being a clinician, and like I literally 2019, I said, no, I'm going to go do my music full time, because that's what I really wanted to do. You know, I love music therapy. I'm glad I went that route, but it was like my plan B.
Right.
And I was working my plan B, and I was like, no, I need to work my plan A, which is what
Yeah.
I'm doing now.
For sure.
And so being on the other side of that, so coming from being a clinician and then experiencing the depression myself,
Yeah.
you know, and then becoming a client because I started going to therapy myself, you know. So I literally flipped to the other side of the of the coin. You know what
Right,
I'm
right,
saying?
yeah.
Going from helping other people to heal to learning to heal myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sometimes that's what it takes, though. When
mhm.
you have that knowledge, it's a little easier for you to grasp what's going on and what's needed for you to heal. Having that knowledge probably helped you to be able to take steps that other people wouldn't think about, because you knew exactly what was going on in your situation. Some of us just, you just having a bad day.
Yeah,
you know, so
yeah. And that's why I want to bring the music and the information to the people so that they can bring themselves out of it. You know, like I have a track on there called Breathe. Never would think that just pure oxygen could help your
yes, it
dopamine,
does, definitely.
serotonin, all those levels,
Yeah,
oxytocin, you know,
right.
all those hormones that we
Yeah.
need to help us to increase our mental health.
I mean, thousands of years people have been meditating. It obviously works. there's some thought behind this. So it's a lot of people who live their life meditating, trying to figure out, where's the peace, where can I find that peace in my mind. And hey, it obviously works. So what inspires the themes and stories in your album then?
Well, some of the themes are love, because I also got married in 2019.
Okay.
So right when the pandemic, I'm glad we got married when we did, because we were talking about getting married in 2020.
Right.
And we were like, no, let's do 11/11 2019. So I'm glad we did, because you remember all those weddings and stuff where
Yes,
everything was being
everything was
canceled.
canceled. Yeah.
So I'm so glad we did that. So I was a newlywed at the time. So it's a lot of love songs on
Yeah.
there, or a few love songs rather. I was an artist who said, I'm not gonna write love songs. There's enough love songs out there. I'm gonna write
Yeah.
about other stuff in life. And then I fell in love. So it's just been love song after love song after love song.
Man, love is a beautiful, no matter what, it's a beautiful subject. And me myself, switch that for me, brother. Hey, me myself, I really believe that there's not enough love songs.
Okay.
I really believe it. I mean, if you listen to the music from the 60s,
Oh yeah.
50s, 70s, that's what they sung about.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, nowadays, I mean, we're trying to figure out different subjects, but these subjects are on the edge of just pornography, man.
Oh yeah.
It's
Definitely.
bad, man. So I really love hearing about people caring about others. Love is what pushes the world forward, man.
Yes.
This we got too much violence. We got too much prostitutions on album. I love it. It's a breath of fresh air what you was doing. That's why I told you that when you came in, because I really just like, man, oh wow, she's doing R&B. That's dope.
Yeah.
And especially out here.
Yes. Yes.
Because you know, in the East and the South,
Yep.
there's a lot more, because it's more gospel music that's being pumped on the radio.
Right.
And it's more R&B being pumped on the radio, because it's more areas that are, you know, the demographics are a lot different than out here. We struggle with that here.
Yeah.
Because I get on the radio, I'm like, man, where they don't play it that
like
often.
positive music,
No,
something you don't have to like turn off when your children are in the car.
Exactly. and you know, the only place you find that now in Phoenix is on the old school stations, and they'll play it in the old school R&B. They'll play the Isle Greens, but you don't hear any new people that's putting out R&B.
Yeah.
So what do you think about some of the challenges of trying to get that music, especially in the West Coast? It's probably different in California,
Mm-hmm.
because they do have a larger demographic of Black people. But here it's a struggle to get that on the radio, to get people, because they do a little something for hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
We have what Poker Face and them do with the Beat Locker
Yep.
on
Yep.
Sundays.
Yep.
They pay a lot of local hip hop music,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't really see that push for R&B.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about the local environment when it comes to R&B?
Um, gosh, I try to focus on the possibilities instead of the limitations.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even see it.
There you go.
So what I say is, all right, here's the lane I'm in. I'm gonna just focus on my lane, and my gift will make room for me.
Okay.
So I do know my music's being played in a lot of regions
Mm-hmm.
outside of
There
Arizona.
you go.
Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta,
Yeah.
New York, lots of different regions all over the United States and the world.
There you go.
So I just think that the music is there. You know, there are artists out here who are creating positive music,
Mhm.
like myself. There's Layla Hathaway, PJ Morton, Lettucey,
Okay.
Fantasia.
Yeah,
There are
definitely.
people out there creating good, positive R&B music. And as far as like the local scene, there are artists here, plenty of artists here that have healthy and positive music.
Mhm.
One of the artists who's here is going to be opening the show for me, Packer Lane.
Okay.
He's from Alabama, but he's this acoustic soul R&B crooner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like that reminds me a little bit like that Otis Redding vibe. You know
Oh,
what I'm
wow,
saying?
yeah.
Like just
Okay.
very like down home soul. Like
Yeah.
I always say it's like a warm blanket when he sings. You
Wow.
know?
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, and he's got good music. There's other people like Tweena Marie. She has her own music out.
Okay.
You guys,
You heard of her?
Yeah,
Okay.
Tweena Marie, Nico B. Oh, I'm gosh, who else? There are plenty of artists here. Alani Yan,
I've heard of Lonnie.
Alani, yep.
Mhm.
Alexis Janae. There are so many artists here, Von Willis, who are doing wonderful things
Yeah.
in the valley and with their music. So you all go support these people, you know, and listen to them, because we out here. We
Yeah.
out here.
Yeah, man. It's I think that we need to do a lot more. We just, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with the music scene. To me, I mean, it's just
Money.
yeah. And
It's money.
and like I said, as the demographics change and as
Mhm.
things change, we are getting a lot more Black people in the area.
Mhm.
Over the last 10 years, it's just been a huge growth explosion, and I think those things will come.
Mhm.
But I wish we would focus on those things a lot more.
Yeah.
And people like you that are doing things, and that's why when I saw your interview online, I was like, wow, she's definitely just has that brightness about her, that everything that's needed to make a person a star, and I just think you have that.
Oh,
So
thank you.
definitely. So how does this project differ from your past works that you have done? Or is this not your first
This is
album,
my
right?
first full album, but I did
Okay.
an EP in 2017.
Okay.
But I did an EP in 2017, and I also had a #2 Billboard hit with Cece Peniston, who's from here too.
Definitely, yeah.
Yep, I toured with her, and I also co-wrote a song for her.
Oh, wow.
So that made to Billboard number 2 in the dance pop category.
Okay.
In 2017 also. So this album differs because, first of all, it's my first full-length album. Second of all, the instrumentation on here is bad. Like it's blazing. Like the
Right.
musicians I hired, they're my buddies. They're friends. These are my brothers. These are my children call some of them uncle. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like
right.
they're real down home, wonderful individuals on this album. My first EP, like I said, it was just four songs, and some of it, not all of it, was live, but most of the album is live instrumentation.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is
I wanted to
amazing.
bring that like
Yeah.
real, I call it real soul music. You know,
Mhm.
people are tired of the McDonald's.
Man.
No shade to McDonald's, but I'm just saying, like, you know, they're tired of the fast food. They
Mhm.
want a down home soul food cooked meal. They
Man.
want some greens and cornbread
Right.
and some black eyed peas.
I mean,
you
dude,
know.
I really, really miss just having original music.
Mm-hmm.
Having music that has a little bit of you can tell that it was live because it has some things that was kind of off. You
Mm-hmm.
can tell that they was doing things, and that's what made the music great.
Yeah.
That's what made music. Nowadays, all this digital mess,
Yeah.
it's just, man, I don't think it has the same feel
No.
that the old music used to have.
Definitely not. You know, the authenticity of, okay, let's talk about vibrations.
Go ahead, switch
You,
that, bro.
you know, when
Mhm.
you talk about energy, right?
Yeah.
Everything is energy.
Mhm.
Every living thing is a vibration. It has a frequency.
There you go.
So the more you digitalize it, the less frequency and vibration it is. So that's why it's important for me to not only perform live but also record
Mhm.
live.
Yeah.
Because that's what they were doing back in the day. You
Mm.
know, there was no, you know, midis and, you know, they're
And those guys,
playing
man.
fake trumpets. Like, I know I got a real trumpet on the album. There's flugelhorn on the
Right.
album.
Real
dope.
instrument.
Real
Right.
instruments.
That's dope, man. Because I mean, if you listen to the old James Browns,
Yep.
you listen to how the way he choreographed his musicians,
Mm-hmm.
the way he put things together. We don't have those guys anymore. These guys were orchestrators of music.
Mm-hmm.
They created music without even having to sit down at the production bench and punch on buttons. They was able to do that live.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, give me this, hit it, this, do this, you, and they were just orchestrating it all.
Mm-hmm.
And James was one of the best at it.
Yes, he
And
was.
it's something that's missed.
Oh yeah.
And you know, you had guys who were just amazing at creating these sounds. We don't have these geniuses anymore. Miles Davis, he was, man, such a inspiring musician. Dude was awesome, and we don't have those people. That we have all these people want to make rap. You know, we don't have these people who are playing the saxophones, who are making music out of these instruments and bringing that love for music back. I miss it. I miss it a lot, man. And I, you know, I
Yeah.
wasn't alive. I was alive. I was just young.
You're little. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, and you don't realize till you get older what's going on, that this music is just not the same as it used to be.
Well,
And,
it's almost like, look at the food, for example. I always compare it to food. I'm a foodie.
Yeah.
I like to eat some delicious
right.
food. So it's like, you know, back in probably our grandparents' days, they didn't have processed food in
Nope.
the stores.
Mm-mm.
You know, now you can just go in there and buy a whole meal and just throw it in the microwave
That's
and there's
real.
dinner.
Nah, it had
That's
to
how
have
the music is.
it had to be slow cooked.
Yeah.
Yep.
You had to
Yep.
you had to wait on it.
Yep.
You know, that's the way
Took 6
things.
hours to make a good soul
Right.
food
Yes.
meal.
There you go.
Yep.
Now we microwaving music.
Yep.
You know, just like we're microwaving food. That's what we're doing nowadays. They're pushing out beats in 5-10 minutes.
Yep.
You know, that's not love. That's not putting any love into what you're doing. To me, I feel like, you know, all these producers are awesome. There's a lot of dope artists who are doing a lot with the digital realm. But I just wish we had a lot more of a mix of live instruments nowadays, and bringing that soul back. So you got a big show coming up on May 9th at the Chandler Center for the Arts. How you feeling about the show? You getting pumped up? What are you doing to get prepared for it?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is I feel like this is my baby. You know, the album is my baby, and I'm getting ready to give birth. You know,
Right.
I'm getting ready. Y'all are getting ready to get this music,
Yeah.
and it's for the people. Like I said, my whole premise is to uplift, inspire, and empower. So I'm gonna bring it on stage,
Yeah.
and my band is gonna bring it on stage.
There you
I
go.
have wonderful musicians and vocalists backing me. I have wonderful people that are partnering and a part of this event specialty partners. Earl Alex is going to be hosting. Shout out to Wayne Gaskins. Man, as far as the musicians,
Man.
Buddy Strong is going to be on keys.
Okay.
He plays with Dave Matthews Band.
Wow.
He's a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee.
Wow.
We have Grammy Award winning Mel Brown on bass.
Goodness.
We have Sister Sledge's drummer Ira King
Wow.
on drums. Frank Valdez, who used to play with Donna Summers, he's on percussion.
Goodness.
We have the wonderful Dr. Jesse McGuire on trumpet. He's
Wow.
fantastic. Oh my goodness. I'm excited to perform with him again. It's been a few years since we've done something together, but
Yeah.
he's fantastic. Who else? Rich Canese on guitar, who is a just super, super talented guitarist here in
Yeah.
the Valley. Like, absolutely amazing. Tweena Marie's gonna be singing backgrounds with me,
Okay.
with Nico B and Celia King, who performs with Reminisce here at
Mm.
Blue Martini on Sundays. She's the lead
Goodness.
vocalist for Reminisce. She's featured on the album along with Eric King, and they're gonna come and do the song that they're featured on the album
Wow.
for. So it's a
Man.
wonderful lineup.
It
And
sounds
then
like it's
Packer
gonna be
Lane is
excellent.
opening, so it's beautiful.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay. You're getting everybody pumped, man. Because this sounds like it's
Yeah.
gonna be a great show.
It will.
So
It will
what tell a little bit. I mean, you already just tell everything what fans can expect. That's dope. But do you have any pre-show rituals that you do before you go on stage? Me myself, when I used to do music back in the way back. I my
Like 10
rituals
years ago.
was getting it's over 10 years. But anyway.
No, that was the last time y'all did something. That was the last album y'all dropped was in 2015 when we went to tape music recording studio in Oklahoma.
Nah, well, we gonna act like it was 20 years ago. Let's do that. Let's put an extra 10 on that motherfucker. But anyway, my pre-show ritual was alcohol. So it was that's pretty much what I did. I just got drunk. And then it was no thing for me to go on stage and do my thing. What's your ritual that you feel as though you do to let yourself loose to get on stage?
Well, I'm usually rushing. I don't have much of a ritual because I'll be like, I gotta hurry up. Oh, my hair. Oh my God, where's my earring? That's usually
crazy.
me before I get my makeup done. Let's see. I definitely like to take a moment right before I go on stage and just pause and breathe.
Yeah.
Like before I walk out, I like take some deep breaths. I pause just so I can get my energy together and I'm calm.
Yeah.
I listen to, like, anytime I have to be on, I'm listening to affirmations. I'm saying affirmations. I firmly believe in affirming yourself.
Definitely.
Right? We spend so much time criticizing ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We live in the society of, oh, the joke's on you, right? Like you're you're the butt of your own jokes sometimes. And I don't think that's cool. Like everything's energy. So you're putting that out into the world.
That's real.
Even coming here, I'm listening to affirmations, and saying them in the car, like just being mindful of that. So those are like two of the main things I do. I breathe, I listen to affirmations, after I go through all the chaos of getting ready.
Getting yourself together.
Where's my shoe? Oh my gosh.
It's definitely not an issue I have. But so what is your looking ahead? Let's talk about what messages do you hope listeners take away from your Based on Reality album? What do you want listeners to take away?
I want the listeners to understand that everything that they're going through is all right and it will be all right.
There you go.
And that life is going to happen, but you can keep going and get through to the other side.
Yeah,
I also want them to know that they can dance and have fun and enjoy life. You don't have to wait until, like, some people are like, oh, I'm going to wait until I hit 6 figures. I'm going to wait until I get married. I'm going to wait until I buy that house. Live life now. Stop putting life on hold. You want to go and have fun and enjoy the beauty of life. Go sit out in nature. Go out to eat. Go whatever it is, whatever your thing is, go do that. Go live a full, happy, peaceful life if you so choose. Because some people choose not to, and that's their choice. Everybody has a right to choose.
That's
right. You can be bitter or you can be grateful.
Real.
That's what I want to give to the people and let them know that it'll be all right. You'll get through it. Practice gratitude. Go after the dreams that you've always wanted to go after. More than anything, this album right here is, gosh, it almost brings me to I was a teen mom. I didn't mention that when I was at Berklee College of Music, I drove from Atlanta to Boston at 19 years old with my 3-year-old son.
Goodness.
I was determined to get here. So that's why I'm saying, like, this is like a birth. This is like me giving birth. I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm doing the thing that at 7 I said I was going to do. Goodness. That when at 15 I found out I was pregnant, I could not see this anymore. I was like, this is impossible. But something happened between like when I gave birth to my son at 16, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna do the thing that I said I was gonna do.
Goodness.
So here I am. Here I am.
Right. Hey man, that's inspiring. And many people, go through the same things, and they're not able to get through those things.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely the inspiration that you were able to do that. And I guess you're a single mother doing it by yourself.
Oh yeah, I was a single mom until I met my husband. So
Mm.
I was single mom for 15 years before I
Goodness.
married my husband.
Wow.
And we just got married in 2019. So
Right.
I've been,
You've
I've
been
been
doing it,
been grinding.
Right.
When I released my EP, I was struggling, but I did it anyway. You
Okay.
know, like that's what people need to. That's why I have that the song on the album, "Kick Fear Out Your Face."
Yeah.
I that's a motto for me.
Right.
You're gonna be afraid. You're not always gonna have the resources. You're not
Mhm.
always gonna have the support from family or people who
You
you think
are
are
not.
gonna. But you got to do it anyway.
That's real.
Those dreams and goals that you have, do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's something as simple as getting up and going to exercise, like do it anyway.
That's real.
You know, go after the things that you want to do.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? Hey, the only thing you can do is fail.
Yeah.
And failure is not a losing. Failure means you got up and tried,
Mm-hmm.
and you can also wake up tomorrow and do it again.
Yeah.
Learn from what you went through yesterday.
Yeah.
Learn from those failures.
Yeah.
If you're not winning, you should be learning,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what it's about. You learn, and every day you learn more, you become better.
Yeah.
So, what's something your fans might not know about you that that you keep kind of secret on the low, that everybody who might be a fan of you might not know about you?
Oh, that's good. That I am a hippie through and through. I love love nature. I love give me some nature and some vegan food, some plant-based food,
Okay.
and
Okay.
sitting outside just staring at the sky. Like I don't know if people know that or not, but
Yeah.
I think that's cool. You know, I love just like just the arts. I love crystals. I love astrology. I love all
There
of
you
that.
go.
You know,
Right.
yeah. So
Spiritual person.
I'm very spiritual.
There you go.
Very.
You been to Sedona?
Not religious, but spiritual.
Have you been up to Sedona
I
yet?
have. I love Sedona.
Did you? I bet.
I passed out in Sedona.
Yeah.
I did. I went
Yeah.
hiking and all of a sudden my eyes rolled to the back of my head. And
Was you dehydrated?
I guess so.
Yeah.
At the time I was 6 months pregnant.
Oh,
I shouldn't
okay.
shouldn't have been up there hiking at that time.
But yeah, it seemed like that would fit you a lot, because
Yeah.
that's how they are. They love their crystals and they
Yeah.
love their spirits, and
Mhm.
talking about the different
Metaphysical.
there you
Yeah.
go. And I like, Sedona's dope.
Yeah.
It's a dope place. A lot of cool people, and
Mhm.
a great vibe up there, man.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what's in the future for you. What's headed in the after this show? Do you have any other shows that's upcoming? What's going on for the future for you?
Okay, so in the future, we're working on right now getting me booked in other venues across
Yeah.
the states, you know.
Mhm.
So I'll be coming to cities all over the United States. That's the
Okay.
goal.
Okay.
Doing festivals,
Yeah.
touring, you know. So this is just phase one. We're just, one foot in front of the other.
Man.
There will be more music coming. So during the pandemic, I had a project called 52 where I was writing a song every week.
Okay.
So I have a lot more songs. So
Yeah.
this was just the first album that I
Okay.
put together. But the second album is ready. Some of the songs are already recorded.
I mean, I'm not sure how you're doing it, being a family person, being a mom, you got a husband.
Yeah.
How are you juggling all of this, the family responsibilities, and still going into the studio and writing?
Mm-hmm.
And I know how much time it takes to do those things. So how are you juggling all these things at the same time and being able to come out on top?
Yeah, like we just make it work, you know. We just do it. Like I said, I focus on the possibilities instead of limitations.
There you go.
Right? Especially understanding my background, knowing like how I went through college as a teen mom. You know what I'm saying? So I don't look at this right now. I have help. I got a husband. You know, we have more children, but I'm like, I have a husband now, so I have the freedom and to be able to do that. But even when I was single, like, it's just like, you just go and you do it. You know, if this is what you're passionate about, then do it. And that's how I look at it. You know, there are babysitters, there's family that helps, you know, and you just make it work, you know, even if it's just a couple hours. I can only do the studio session from like 12 to 2. Well, then that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
You know, it took me 5 years to finish this album because I had 2 babies in the process.
Wow.
Yeah. But, you know, I did what I had to do.
Yeah.
You know,
that's staying headstrong,
yeah,
knowing what you need to do and not giving up on what you need to get finished.
Yeah, you either make an excuse or you make a way.
There you go. There you go. And most people making excuses. They trying to make excuses.
Yeah.
But that's dope, man. To take that time to keep working on it and keep on trugging away.
Yeah.
That's pretty inspiring. We really appreciate you coming through and talking to us, sitting down and talking about your album. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your art with us. Based on Reality is out now. Be sure to give it a listen and don't miss her live show on May 9th at the Chandler Center for the Arts. It's going to be a night to remember. Until then, keep streaming, keep supporting, and keep believing in the power of music. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
Thanks for watching another episode of Habari Live. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get updates on news, the podcast, and more. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to visit www.habarientertainment.com. See you next week. Peace.